Brian Gibson. I've been working here at Stirling Castle for 22 years now, and I'm going to show you around what's one of the grandest castles in Scotland. Well, the great importance of Stirling Castle came from its position guarding the crossing of the River Forth below us here. Here in the centre of Scotland, it controlled the principal crossroads, the main roads in and out of Scotland, crossing the River Forth here below us. The old bridge of Stirling down there became known as the Brooch, which clasped the Highlands and the Lowlands of Scotland together. The Great Hall here at Stirling Castle was the largest medieval hall ever to be built in Scotland, built by King James IV of Scots, with banquet in. Of course, now fully restored, as indeed the whole castle has been. The walls here coated in a lime mortar harling, coloured with a natural ochre pigment. The colour is known as King's Gold. The royal palace of King James V of Scots is going to be the first Renaissance building to be built anywhere in Britain, built in 1540 for his French queen Marie de Guise, and decorated on all sides with over 250 statues and sculptures, including right up in the middle of the wall there, the very devil himself. The interior of King James V's palace has all been recreated back to its authentic Renaissance decoration, and indeed is still occupied by some of the servants of his queen.
Sunday carpenter, usher to the inner and the outer hall. In your modern world, I would control the doorways. I'm a bouncer. In fact, in your modern world, we can thank the British Army for preserving the palace for us. When they departed in 1964, we had the original fireplaces and about 4 tons of asbestos. So we literally have rebuilt it.
Yes, I believe this was actually the games room when the army were here in the castle. But it's all restored, and next door too, as you see, is part of that. Thank you, Sandy. Tapestries, of course, tell the story of the hunt of the unicorn. Mythical beast. They're thought to be an allegory of the crucifixion of Christ, that the hunting and the killing of the unicorn was the crucifixion of Christ, but like Christ, the unicorn is reborn and lives forever in the garden of paradise, beneath the tree of everlasting life.
She dressed in the red chamber and then properly dressed.
Sadly, King James V of Scots died almost as soon as his palace was built, dying at the age of just 30. And it was really his queen, Marie de Guise, and of course his daughter, Mary, Queen of Scots, who lived here in the palace. But here above the fireplace, you see the combined arms of Marie de Guise and Lorraine and the King of Scots. Looking down from the castle here, below us lie the royal gardens, the King's Knot, as it was known, and the hunting park of the King's Beyond, established in the 12th century as the King's Park, and it stretched all the way out to the banks of the Bannockburn. Over on the hillside of Flagpole there marks the site of the Borestone, where Robert the Bruce planted the standard for that great battle of Bannockburn 700 years ago this year. Now, the Chapel Royal of King James VI of Scots was built by him in 1594 in the precise proportions of King Solomon's temple in the Holy Land, according to him. And of course, James VI was a king to know. He gave all of the dimensions of Solomon's temple within his own authorised version of the Bible 400 years ago. Here in Stirling Castle, of course, we still have the Regimental Museum of the Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders, the regiment who made the castle their home right up until the 1960s. And a great many men have served their time here in Stirling Castle, including my grandfather up there, who served with the Argylls in the First World War. He just set up a new exhibition to commemorate the centennial of the beginning of the First World War here in the museum.